Michael Bosick with www.217dent.com. We're getting ready to get started on a 2014 Hyundai Veloster. The vehicle has a dent in the driver's rear quarter and the passenger fender body line. The driver's rear quarter has it's right on the edge of the door in the rear quarter. So we are going to remove this dent through the glue pull process. Here's the passenger fender and the body line dent. If you see the reflection of the white pole, you'll see the shadow inside the middle of the dent.
Perfection is in the reflection.
There's the driver's rear quarter. This is about the size of a softball. A lot of stretched metal. This type of repair is perfect for the paintless dent removal process. Paintless dent removal technicians are all across the country. We are way better than a body shop. Paintless dent removal is better than a body shop. I'm determining access. However, this is going to be glue pull. The fender itself is not a problem. It is a body line dent, which makes it a little bit more difficult and more time consuming. But I will ultimately access this dent through the inside of the fender right there. Alright, right now I'm considering on removing the liner and accessing the dent through the behind the liner. But here's the dent with the light. And here's the fender dent with the light. I'm using my homemade LED Makita battery powered light right there. I got 3 strips of LED in there. And on the other side of the vehicle I'm using my Illuminant light.
The lines don't lie.
Cleaning the surface. 92% rubbing alcohol.
Perfection is in the reflection.
I'm measuring the depth of the dent. At that moment, I realized that that dent is a lot deeper than what I thought it was. I'm using tab weld glue. and an Atlas tab. I'm tightening it and adjusting a mini lifter right now. My first pull on this will, the glue was not set up all the way, so I just put some more glue in the tab and just reposition the tab. Instead of cleaning the glue off and starting over, I already have the glue in the depth, and I can see the center point of that dent when I put my first layer of glue on there. I'll be using my jackhammer, my aluminum tap down with a polished steel tip, and I'll also be using a protective rubber grommet for the top of it, and a tap down, and my paddle. The wedges I'll be using for the fender, and my mini lifter. I ended up not using the wedges for the other side of the vehicle for the fender dent. I got access from the top. But as the glue's setting up, I'm just going to work the dent, maintaining a clean area so I can see the reflection very clearly. That is a tiny Atlas tab. Tab weld glue. Made some changes on the light. I put a yellow strip on. I'm having a hard time there hanging up my alcohol. And no, I haven't been drinking it. The glue's to be shut up, so we're going to mini lift it. And that didn't hold, so I'm going to put some glue on the tab and put it back on top of the other glue. I'm going to start tapping down the crown and blending in the orange peel. Paintless dent removal is an art. Not all technicians are created equal. If you have intentions of do-it-yourself, think about this. You can go out, you can buy yourself a $10,000 pool table. You can go out and buy yourself a $5,000 pool cue. You're not going to be able to break and run. You're not going to be able to master the game of pool without any practice at all. So whenever you start attempting to do it yourself on a $10,000 vehicle, $20,000 vehicle, and I've seen $80,000 vehicles where customers have attempted to do it themselves. It takes years of practice. If you're interested in getting into the industry, take a styrofoam cup, turn it inside out, and then turn it back the way it's supposed to go without cracking the styrofoam. It takes time and it takes patience, and it takes a lot of both. Dry ice does not work. Popcorn does not work. Blowing air on the dent does not work. Those are myths. And the dry ice can damage your clear coat. And if you put too much heat on your paint and your clear, you can damage it also. You can burn your paint. So be careful if you're considering fixing your own dent. Call a dent expert.
The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection. Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines. Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection. Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection. Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines. 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 Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. the reflection.
Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection. Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines. Look at the lines.
Cleaning off the area again. I'm going to be bringing the camera up for a closer view here in a few minutes.
Perfection is in the
We're going to attempt a
reflection.
different type of crease tab with just a dab of tab weld.
Perfection is in the reflection.
Do some more blending and some more pressure release on the crown. So why is paintless dent removal better than a body shop? In a body shop, they're going to be sanding that, grinding that.
The lines don't lie.
In order to do it properly, whenever they paint and clear that, they're going to have to remove the door.
Perfection is in the reflection.
That's an Atlas tab. That's a heavy duty tab. I got the majority of it out. I'm just that little edge right there on the edge, I'm having a very difficult time with. But a body shop would be taking the door off, taking the trim off, taking a gas tank or gas lid off, removing the tail light, and that entire rear quarter that wraps around to the A-pillar of the vehicle above the driver's door. They have to paint and clear all that so not to leave a blend line, and that will help prevent any peel back later. Some body shops won't do that. All they'll do is they'll blend it right into the door jamb instead of doing it properly and blending the clear all the way up underneath the seal.
Perfection is in the reflection.
Anytime you can maintain original paint of your vehicle, you're maintaining value. Down the edge, tapping down the inner edge inside the door jamb, there was a little bend on it because of the pressure of the metal pushed the edge out. And I'm going to end up having to use a tool in order to get this dent perfect, doing the finishing touches on it.
Perfection is in the reflection. lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection. Perfection is in the reflection.
I'm going to place a tool inside the door here, and I'm going to finish up working the metal with a tool. I was hoping to use the entire glue pull process and the glue pull techniques in removing this dent, but that corner of that dent would not come out with the glue pull process and the glue pull techniques and the blending techniques.
Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection. Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines. 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 Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. The lines don't lie.
Alright, I put the finishing touches on
Perfection is in the
with the tool. Now I'm going to use some 3000 grit sandpaper and polish out all the scratches, and that rear quarter will be finished. The entire process of this dent here took approximately about 1 hour.
Perfection is in the reflection. Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines. Look at the lines.
The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection. Perfection is in the reflection.
They're finishing up polishing here, and then we'll get a close-up view of the dent. I want to position the light to where you can get a good view, and you can see the lines of the light are perfectly straight. Do super slow motion.
The lines don't lie.
That dent on the edge
Perfection is in the
was a very difficult dent. Very deep dent.
Perfection is in the reflection.
Better than a body shop. Paintless Dent Removal. Springfield, Illinois. Decatur, Illinois, Taylorville, Illinois, and surrounding areas. Mobile service to you. Dents, door dings, and hail damage.
Look at your lines. Look at your lines.
The lines don't lie. Perfection is in the reflection.
Alright, now that we got that rear quarter taken care of on this 2014 Veloster, I'm trying to get in the camera positioned nicely to where you can see me working the dent on the body line of the fender.
The lines don't lie.
I'm going to have my limit dent there also.
The lines don't lie.
Now I'm going to position the camera to where you can see me working
Perfection is in the reflection.
the dent as I'm removing it.
Look at your lines.
The lines don't lie.
I'm covering the tire to where I don't get all the tire
Perfection is in the reflection.
and brake dust all over my pants and clothes, and my hands get slimy if there's tire dressing on the tires.
Perfection is in the reflection.
I decided to access the dent through the fender instead of going through the inside of the fender, instead of going through the inner, or removing the liner, or putting a wedge up there to wedge the liner away to where I get access, very good access to the dent.
Look at your lines.
It is about, the temperature of that metal is right about 90 degrees.
The lines don't lie.
See the lines flexing?
Is in the reflection.
And you can see a lot of that metal is pulling in as I'm pushing that dent out.
Perfection is in the reflection.
I started right in the middle of the body line. A very strategically placed tool. Not just randomly going in there. Paintless dent removal is not a do-it-yourself. If you're going to start, or you're considering getting into the industry, paintless dent removal is an art. It takes years to master.
The lines don't lie.
No, it takes a lifetime to master. It takes years to get good.
Perfection is in the reflection.
I'm going to do some blending work here. The video is rolling at twice the speed.
Perfection is in the reflection.
Look at the lines. Look at the lines. Look at the lines. Look at the
And then I'll continue to work that body line. I'm blending the crown. As I push the center up of the body line, there's crowns that are popping up. I just slightly blend them and keep pushing the working that body line back into place. Put a little polish on it, and with that is a finished dent. Paintless Dent Removal. www.217dent.com. Michael Bosick, serving Springfield, Illinois, Taylorville, Illinois, Decatur, Illinois, and the surrounding areas. If you have dents, door dings, or hail damage, check out my website and hit the call button. Let me spend a little time with your car alone.